Hey, Art.
Hey there, Leroy. How you
Hey.
doing?
I'm all right. I can hear you today.
I'm on a different computer.
Okay.
I do need to adjust the sound level though, so I'll be back in just a second.
You're not bad. You're not bad.
But you're kind of low, so I'm gonna go here and open Pulse Audio and okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
And I can hear you, so that's good. So let me get the rest of this set up. Chat's open. Participants is open, and we are the only folks here,
We're
apparently.
the only ones.
Okay.
They've changed something with the chat again. It says, do you see where it says who can see your messages recording on in the chat window?
In the what?
In
Chat
the
window?
Yeah.
It says, in my chat window, it just says chat etiquette has been enabled.
Okay.
You probably see something different because you are the host.
Because I'm
However, I specifically on this computer have not upgraded, so I'm not sure what version I'm running, but it is definitely not the bleeding edge.
Yeah.
I
just upgraded too, so.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I look at the bottom of the screen here. I want to move this over a little bit because it's kind of in my way. And I see an icon there that says reactions.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but it wasn't there last week, I don't think.
That's actually been there for a couple of weeks now.
Oh, there's a whole bunch of icons.
Yeah, so you can
thumbs up, wave your hand, raise hand, a whole bunch of emojis or enjoys or however the hell you say it.
Yeah, so you can download more.
Oh,
emojis.
You can. Let's see. I didn't catch that.
If you click on the 3 dots, you can download up to 2,500 new emojis.
Wait a minute. I don't see the 3 dots.
You don't see 3 dots.
I see. Huh. Well, that's okay. I've got 7 here, and that's probably more than I will ever use. So,
yeah, Vicente was playing with them last week.
Oh, Jim's here. Okay.
And Jim's here. Oh, and Jim's a TV.
And Jim's what?
He's inside of a TV.
Oh. Oh, okay. Looks like they're playing with this the screen presentation again.
Oh, it's dark. Leroy gave me a choice, and I can't breathe in a plastic bag. Take a double bag.
Okay.
That wasn't fair.
Oh man. Gee.
It's really hard to breathe, Leroy.
I'm sorry. You need to be in that TV. That was great. Oh, Barry's getting ready to come in.
Barry could do the TV thing with his pickup. That'd be cool.
Okay.
So Barry's here. Everybody say hi, Barry.
Looking good, Barry. And we even listened to Art this week. Man.
Oh yeah. Sorry, Jim. I went to for some reason or other I can get it to work on this computer, but my regular desktop workstation, something is misconfigured. I'm using exactly the same hardware, same earphones, same microphone, so forth and so on. I've even backed up Zoom, so I'm using the same version of Zoom, but something's going on with that computer, and right now my plate's full enough. I don't have time to go off and troubleshoot it, because next week we're back to California. So
you're heading back.
well, we have both had our Moderna vaccinations. It's been, gee, let's see. We had the second one on the 26th of March. So it's been almost, well, it's been what, 4 weeks now, something like that. 4 weeks less a day. And so we figured it was time to make a run for it. So that's the plan. It turns out, supposedly Delta is still maintaining the empty center seat policy up through the 30th of April. So
okay.
we thought that we'd take advantage of that. Well, it turns out now that that was a bit of a bait and switch, because they've now started filling up the center seat. So we don't know if we're going to have empty center seats now or not. But in any case, we figured it'd be this. The other thing was, this is between college spring vacation, which happens generally speaking around Easter, early April, and the end of school for the year, plus the end of school for families with small kids. So they'd be taking off on vacations. So we figured low possible traffic, less idiots than normal, I guess is the way I would put it, not so tactfully. And it was time to make a run for it. We've been here 7.5 months. And
just admit it. You just don't like snow in April.
Boy, I'll tell you, that was a surprise. We had 6 inches of snow here on the top of the hill. And
this past couple of days ago?
Yeah, the 21st.
Wow.
What is today? Yeah.
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning on 21st. Hi, Mike.
3 o'clock. In was to hear the voice, the art of sound.
Something like that. 3 o'clock in the morning on the 21st, I was sitting here working on something, and it had been raining fairly fiercely early in the evening, and I was busy and wasn't paying any attention. So I decided to get up and stretch my legs. And one of the things I do on my internal constitutional here is go take a look out the windows. So I take a look out the front window and I said, what is that out there? This is, it looks awfully white out there, because here, for some reason or another, when we get snow, the illumination just blooms. So I went and looked on my deck, and on the top of the railings around the deck was about yay much of snow.
Wow.
And I thought, 21st of April, this is a joke.
I only got an inch and a half tops, which is what they had said was the official count, was about an inch and a half.
Well, I don't know what the official count was here in Milford, but I can tell you it was a lot more than an inch and a half. And then last night, 3 o'clock in the morning on the 22nd, we had another snow, but I think it was a grand total of it was enough that it turned the top of the deck white.
Yeah.
So it was maybe an eighth of an inch, maybe, you know, it was certainly less than a half an inch. And when the sun came up, that was gone like a rocket. So
Yeah. I was up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and I looked out, and it was like an inch and a half, and I was like, oh, okay. And then by
this
the
is on
time
the
I actually
21st.
on the 21st, yeah.
Yeah.
By the time I actually woke up, which was around 10 o'clock, I looked out and there was nothing. I was like, oh, I know I didn't
Yeah.
dream it, because they kept saying there was snow, and I got a picture of it. But
Yeah.
and then last night I looked out probably around 3:30 or maybe later, maybe 4 o'clock, and there was a dusting, and I was like, okay, that's going to be gone by the morning, so no big deal.
Yeah, that's kind of the way mine was too. But actually the snow here on the 21st hung around until maybe 10, 11 o'clock, something like that. And then you could see it was rapidly melting, and,
Yeah.
you know.
I had to go and pick Patty up from work, and I was driving in the snow. I was like, oh, it's pretty heavy. But
Yep.
really, by the time I got her and got back home, it had pretty much stopped, and I was like, oh.
So she works graveyard?
She works, I guess technically it's thirds.
Yeah.
5 to 11.
Yeah.
She used to work, what was that? 7? No.
Is that Barry? Oh, that's Kenny.
Who is it?
She used to work
Somebody calling you?
until 1 o'clock in the morning, so she would go in a little later. But since Kroger's isn't open that late anymore, she's still closing. But
yeah, but overnight, most grocery stores do stocking on the shift they're not open.
Yeah, well, they've got the stockers are still there, but Patty doesn't have to work overnight. She's a cashier. She doesn't have to work overnight.
Okay.
So
hopefully that's the last spring surprise we get.
we've had snow before in April. I just don't remember it being this late in the season.
Well, of course, when I lived in Ohio was 1966 and before, so my memories of those years are a little fuzzy, but I don't recall it this late. As a matter of fact, I don't ever recall snow past Easter. As we used to call it. I don't know what you call it today, but we used to have Easter vacation off of school. Now we have, I don't know, spring vacation or whatever.
Vacation, yeah. I don't remember. I don't remember snow being this late, but apparently we set a record. We beat.
Is that right?
Yeah, we beat whatever our previous snowfall was for the same date.
Huh.
So apparently it's happened before, because they have a record of it.
Okay. Well,
weathermen keeping track of that stuff.
we're going to head back and take our luck in California for a while. I suspect the last 4 years we've had serious fires. Before that is beyond my recollection, but last 4 years we've had fires, and at least my wife has come out here for the duration of the fires. This year, of course, we were here we came here in September, and that was again to get away from the fires, but we were trading off the risks of traveling versus the risks of staying in Northern California with her asthma. So my youngest daughter called up and basically, well, I would say she put the hammer down and said, get your butts out here. So 2 days later, we were on a plane out here. So.
Is that your makeup table there in front of you, Art? To your right? Is that your makeup table?
No, that is the work table. And if I rotate this a little bit, you will see that screen there is the screen you normally see me in front of. That table has various and sundry. But basically, the table that's not in front of the screen that I'm talking from is the clutter table. So everything that would normally on the table in front of me has been moved over. So,
looks like you got some Noxzema over there, and
oh yeah, those are
face
the
powder. And
no, I don't have any face powder. I've got 3 different screen.
leg.
No, I got 3 different hand.
What's those pantyhose doing over there? Just saying.
And he's got an emergency exit plan on his door too, just like a hotel room.
Actually, that's yeah. No, it's not. It's not an emergency exit. That is my. That is the Little Miami. Tells you, gives you a map of the Little Miami River and what you can do and what you can't do and so forth and so on. But yeah, the clutter moves depending on which screen. So
my workbench is right here.
Yeah,
and it was so piled with stuff I had to move it all so I could put the green screen up.
Yeah, next time I'm out here, I'm going to do a green screen. But what I think I'm going to do, I've been looking at them, is do one of these ceiling hanger types.
Yeah,
they seem to.
That's what I would have wished I would have done, was the ceiling hanger. But I got what I've got now, so
they work pretty well. And I know Frank was saying he just went to who was it? Some sewing store and got a few yards of green cloth, and it worked fine. So, yeah.
Well, that's basically all my green screen is green cloth.
Oh, okay. So
it's just,
at any rate,
it's just on got a nice pole system to clip it all to and everything, but it's basically just green cloth.
So are you talking about getting something to roll it up? Retract
well,
it up
I've looked at those. The problem that I have with my office here is these are all 9-foot ceilings. And so most of those are designed for 8-foot ceilings. So when you pull them down, they're very much like a projector screen, like you use for projecting movies or whatever. And you just pull them down. Well, the problem is that they only come down so that they would be behind your shoulders if you were sitting, yeah, like that. They'd be behind your shoulders if you were sitting in an 8-foot room. But let's see.
That was part of the reason why I chose to do something else, why I got the stands instead of the pull down, because I figured I would have to lower the ceiling down by at least a foot in order to actually make it work. Well,
I don't know. I haven't committed dollars, so to speak, to my thought project at this point in time. And so you get to see me warts and all, so to speak.
See,
oh yeah, there you go, Mike.
You've got a nice
Yeah,
white
let's
wall.
just go to
You
a
could
wall with
probably
no
do
artwork
something
on it.
now.
Yeah, all of my walls are occupied with something, either bookcases or tables or ladders, as you can see back there. There's my handy dandy, I think that's, yeah, the 6-foot ladder. And so
Frank basically had a white wall like that and just hung a green screen in front of it, green sheet
yeah,
in front of it.
yeah, my office style tends to incorporate a certain amount of, for lack of a better term, clutter. And if I've got a free wall, the bookcase goes up on it, generally speaking, or hanging shelves or whatever. Next week, if I make it in time, I will, you'll get to see my Fremont, California office. And I don't have a green screen in there either, but I'm definitely going to go. That's an 8-foot ceiling. I'm definitely going to go with one of those roll down units. So
They also make pull up screens
yeah,
that might work a little bit better.
it would, except that I kind of like the idea of having it come off the ceiling,
Yeah.
because it's the only surface in my office that doesn't have a lot of stuff on it. Okay. I haven't figured out how to conveniently hang a lot of crap from my ceiling. So,
Yeah. Well, the pull up screen, you can't really tell because of the way my camera is, but my actual screen is probably only, it's probably just over 6 foot tall.
yeah.
So there's like 3 foot worth of empty space on it that you can't even see because of where the camera's at. So a pull up would work really well for me.
Well, it'll be a while before I commit to something for this office. So I am hoping we at least make it into October before we have to haul out here again. But when you're away from home for 7.5 months, a lot of loose ends accumulate, so to speak, and you have to clean them up.
Yep. I believe that is probably true. So, anything new? Kenny, Mike, anybody?
Well, last week I was talking to you about a timer, and you just said, well, just go buy one. I was talking about programming one. So yeah, spent about $13 and bought a timer.
Yeah.
And it'll go for everywhere from, just by moving the decimal point, it's got a couple of push buttons. So it'll go up to 999 minutes, or all the way down to every 9 seconds.
9 seconds. Wow.
It just depends on where you put the decimal point and how many nines you put on it. So it'll work perfect, and it runs off of 12-volt input, and it'll give me a 12-volt output. And I was planning on running a 12-volt fan. So that's perfect.
Perfect.
I try to avoid sometimes buying things on Amazon.
Yeah.
Try to fight the giant. So I found a guy on eBay that had one for about $1 more. And I thought, well, I'm just going to support the small guy. So 3 days later, an Amazon package shows up. So all he was doing was listing it on eBay and then going on Amazon and shipping it and pocketing the dollar. But oh well, at least he made a buck.
He probably has them on both. He probably uses Amazon as
True.
his warehouse.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. So he just said, ship it.
So did he ship from Amazon warehouse or did he ship from his own warehouse facility?
I think he shipped from his own place, but it wasn't an Amazon bag.
Okay.
The place across the river in Kentucky used to be eBay and is now Amazon. So I think if it ships them over there, I think they still may ship for eBay. They still may do, they probably made a deal. I suspect some of that's going on. Because I do the same thing. I don't use Amazon anymore. They're on my list. So if I order, eBay often comes in Amazon
Interesting.
packaging. Yeah.
Yeah, I know somebody that works at a quilt shop, and their shop is listed on Amazon. And they have certain criteria. So the order person places it through Amazon, it gets sent over to their quilting supplies shop. But they have 24 hours from the time the order came in till the time it goes out. And if you don't meet that time criteria, they pull you.
Huh. Interesting.
Well, I've ordered a few things from eBay and they show up being shipped from Amazon, and the Amazon truck shows up and everything and handles them to me. So I know they're coming from an Amazon warehouse somewhere. And then I went and looked at one of the sellers. He was a big seller, and I looked, and he's got a store on both eBay and on Amazon. So all they're doing is using Amazon as a warehouse, and
Yeah.
stocking their stuff and just drop shipping it basically.
Well, they're using Amazon as a shipper also.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cheap. It's like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. It probably doesn't cost them any more to do it like that.
Well, you don't have to handle it all. You just relay what your item you have in the warehouse you want to send shipped. And they take care of all the packaging and mailing and shipping.
Yeah.
Amazon basically gets to ship practically for free anyway, which is cheaper than you probably can.
I agree.
You don't have that overhead.
And
Well, all those little blue trucks, I'm sure cost them something.
yeah.
I assume they're blue. I mean, I'm sufficiently colorblind that they might be green for all I know.
I was
I know
wondering
they
about you. I said blue. Anybody seen a blue Amazon truck? No, they're like brown, aren't they?
I thought they were gray.
Well,
Now I'm questioning what I'm seeing.
I think they're actually gray. The reason I know they're Amazon is they got that big smiley face on the side of them. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they make about 4 or 5 passes up and down our street a day. They do a lot of business here.
Huh.
They go up and down the street more often than USPS does. And the other thing I like about them is they bring it to your door rather than trying to stuff it, no matter how tight it is, inside my mailbox that's out at the street. And I've had some things really scrunched up because they they stand out there and pound on it, I think, to get it in the mailbox.
I had a box that from the back side of the mailbox, it would fit in. We've got out down at the road, we've got like boxes that we have to go and get our mail out of. So they're like PO boxes kind of deal, about the same size. But from the backside, stuff fits in just fine because there's no door and there's no hinges and there's no nothing. And on the front side, you can't pull some of these boxes through because they're just that much too big to do it. And I have destroyed a bunch of boxes just trying to get them out of the front. One time I was down there and the mailman was down there and I said, why do you keep sticking these big boxes in? You can't get them out from the front. And he said, well, you're obviously getting them out because they're not in here. And I'm like,
Yeah, right.
yeah, after I come and I get my screwdriver out and I start prying on it. So he started bringing the larger boxes, even if they'll fit in the box, he started bringing them to the house for me, but I had to kind of complain to him about it to do it. So, but they'll fit on the backside, no problem. And they've got at our post office, they've got like tester boxes where they can stick stuff in so they know whether or
Hey,
not.
clean up around there, Mike. What you doing? Even the drawers hanging out and stuff like that.
Oh, I was had my computer propped up on there.
Oh,
So you want to hear something very, very interesting, Arch?
Yeah.
We are both right. They are gray and they are blue.
Oh, okay. That's gray.
That's gray and that's blue. And apparently the newer models are even a darker blue.
Well, you know, the other thing I have seen unmarked white vans delivering stuff. And apparently there are, I don't know whether they've just haven't been painted yet or what the story is, but periodically I see a white van, same size van. It's like I think that's called a panel van or something of that sort. But completely white.
Yeah.
And no logo on them at all. But the guy that shows up at the door has got the Amazon sweatshirt or t-shirt or whatever it is they wear.
The other day, we have a regular FedEx guy. He's in the area frequently. I don't know why, but he's here all the time. And the other day he was driving a U-Haul truck. He had a sticker on the side of the U-Haul truck that said FedEx and had the FedEx number, their US dot number. And my guess is his regular truck was broken for service and he needed to do something. So he got a U-Haul truck.
Here by me, they've been using independent delivery people, and they've been delivering in all kinds of vehicles.
Yeah.
And usually at the wrong address.
yeah, I've got some of those.
When Amazon first started delivering, we had independents show up in their personal cars and deliver stuff. I never liked that. So I'm glad they got the trucks. But
Yeah, 3 or 4 years ago, I remember we were getting, when we first moved in here, we were getting a lot of independent contractors. And they'd show up in everything from pickup trucks to sedans to you know, wagons to whatever. I mean, station wagons, not horse and wagons, but
I'm guessing though that if one of their trucks is down or whatever, they just rent something from Enterprise or
well, there's
U-Haul or
down here
Ryder
by
or whatever.
I don't know if you know where this is, but Eastgate is on Route 32 off of 275. And as you go off the overpass coming south to go to Eastgate, there is a large parking lot there, and there are typically, 20 or 30 Amazon trucks sitting in there. So obviously it depends on the time of the day, whether they're there or not, but so they apparently have parking lots where they have collection points for these Amazon trucks. So I don't know. I don't have any complaints about Amazon. Occasionally they've screwed something up. Occasionally, I rarely get a damaged package from them. I cannot say the same for USPS, but I rarely get a damaged package from one of the Amazon shippers. So
I guess it's about half for me. I get some that have definitely not taken the trip easily, but generally they're in decent shape. And when you compare them to USPS, they're in very good shape. But I've gotten a few boxes that have been beat up a little bit, but nothing bad.
well, we have a post office box as well as our by the street mailbox, and I've gotten a few packages out of there where I think they drove it into the back of the post office box with a sledgehammer. They just jam it in there. They have two general types of post office boxes. If they have something that really won't fit in your regular size post office box, they have a bunch of other larger post office box that they leave a note in your post office box with a key, and then use that key to open the larger post office box. And at that point, you can get whatever the larger package is. And then, of course, if it's too large, you have to go to the counter to pick it up and so forth and so on.
We used to actually have two. I think there were two large lockers down at our place, and for whatever reason, they decided to take those out. I don't know if they weren't being used, or I don't know what their rationale was for taking out the two larger lockers, but we actually had two larger lockers that's what they would do. They would put a key in your box with a note that said box 1 or box 2, and then you would go and you would get it out, and then you would I think you were supposed to drop the key back into a hole or something, lock the locker back up and drop it back into a hole or something.
Well, the ones in our post USPS facility here, once you put the key in and turn it to open the door, you can't extract it again.
Oh,
It's captured.
right.
So once you open the door, and then God forbid you don't get all your stuff out and you slam the door again, then you have to go to the counter because the key's stuck in there. You can't get the door open again.
See, ours were more like lockers. You could open it, and I don't think it captured the key because it was exposed, outside. I mean,
Oh, okay.
these
are inside the
box,
post office.
but I don't think it captured the key. I think there was a hole, a little slot that once you were done, you just dropped the key into the slot. But for whatever reason, they took those out. I'm still not real sure I understand why they took them out.
So, Jim, I've got a question for you. Do you have an alarm on your post office, on your mailbox that'll tell you when something arrives?
Not currently. I break it regularly.
Oh, okay. So what was your most successful device in that regard? Because I have been trying to find something here that would notify me when something was put in my street post office, street post box, because
had a long distance doorbell is the main thing. And then I forced the button on, and then I turned the battery on. I pushed the button basically with a micro switch or a magnetic switch. Magnetic switch is probably the best if you can get one that's not too sensitive.
So this alarms when the mail person opens the door and then closes it again?
Yep, when they open the door, it fires, it energizes the push button. The door, it's a battery operated push button. So when you open the door, it turns on the push button.
So the whole thing's inside the mailbox?
Yeah, it's underneath actually. The plastic mailboxes like I have, there's a about a 1.5 foot by 3/4 inch deep by 6 inches, 8 inches section underneath, and I put it underneath. Then when you pull the door down, the bottom flips in, and I use that to push the magnetic switch or the micro switch or whatever I have. And then that just shorts out the button. Actually, the button is pushed all the time. That just energizes the battery to it.
When you slow down growth in your domestic economy.
You're late. We've got 54 seconds.
To get by with China, get by
Oh.
I'll be in the second part. Art,
Hi there. Hi, Vicente.
hi, how are you?
Good. You?
I was painting.
So this is on canvas, or is this?
No, the bathroom, the walls.
Okay.
Okay.
Ring is the company Ring is apparently making mailbox sensors now.
Yeah, but the problem with that is you need to sign up for the
For the thing.
monthly Ring fee,
Yeah.
which is, I don't know, $2 or $3 a month, but I don't know, that just gripes me. It runs me the wrong way.